Well, good morning. Hello, everybody. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? We got lots of nice greenery there, sunshine and blue skies today, which is much better than the last couple of days, which have been all about white skies. Here, let's take a look at the mountain over here. I'm going to zoom in for you to start off the day. It's much, much nicer. Last couple of days, we've had a lot of smoke coming in from the wildfires in California, so we couldn't even see these mountains the last couple of days. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a perfect time to get up and take a look around and take a coffee break. So won't you join me? Let's do this thing. Hey everybody, how you doing today? Cheers. Top of the morning to you. I'm standing here by the window and I'm looking out and I'm enjoying these blue skies, and it is a little windy outside, so I'm not sitting outside this morning. And I'm enjoying the blue skies and the clearness of the morning, which is a nice change from the past couple of days. Anyways, it's time for a coffee break, and I thought today I would ramble a little bit about something that I noticed last night. About 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I started hearing all this jackhammer work outside my building. A lot of noise. And I thought, now this isn't the first time this has happened, but I thought, hey, why are you doing that kind of work at a residential neighborhood at that hour of the night? People have to go to sleep. People have to get ready for work in the morning and things like that. It doesn't make sense to be doing work that late at night. I guess the biggest thing about it is that it creates a lot of noise when you don't want noise. And that's what I want to talk about today, is noise. And I remember a song not that long ago by Kenny Chesney that came out that was called Noise. And it's about trying to be heard when all that is around you is a bunch of noise. And I really like that song, but it seems appropriate to mention that as I discuss noise, because I'm affected by noise so much these days. I mean, it wakes me up in the middle of the night just to hear a little creaking and cracking of the house. And if there are neighbors who are being too loud, I hear them. And it wakes me up and I don't go right back to sleep. And in this case, with the road crew coming in and making all that noise for I don't know how long, eventually I woke up from the noise, or not from the noise, but after a while, because I didn't hear the noise, I woke up and it was all of a sudden quiet. And what's interesting about that is that I really noticed it was pretty quiet. You have all this noise going on, and then it stops, and you're not aware of it, but all of a sudden you are aware of it, and then you're like, wow, what a difference. I guess there's a lot of noise going on out there. Have you noticed that? Lots of people screaming and yelling and playing their music too loud or whatever. It's a bunch of noise. And it started me to thinking about noise in general that goes on inside your head too, because we have noise that goes on inside our head. We replay a broken record sometimes of situations that we experienced in life, and that creates noise as well. And how do we stop the noise? And what kinds of noises are there that we can recognize as noise? I mean, we obviously assume that things like air traffic and road traffic and work crews create a lot of noise. People playing their music really loud makes a lot of noise. We call that noise. But the noise that really bothers me the most, that's most annoying to me, is when I create noise inside my head, which I have done throughout my life on and off. I'm sure most people have, haven't you? And if you have, feel free to share. We got a comment section below. I'd like you to participate in the conversation and tell me about what kind of noises you have in your head that you've had to go through and say, wait a second, slow down. I don't need that kind of noise in my life. And that's when you make some real good decisions about what you're doing in your life. And I certainly have had a few of those moments in my life. In fact, I've written some things down about noise that I want to talk about, because noise is kind of an invisible thing, isn't it? And it's even referred to as the invisible danger, because it can be a catalyst for health problems if you're not careful. If you're stressed out, and I mean, stress is one of those health issues. It creates a stimulating factor in whether your mental health is good or not, but it also contributes to high blood pressure and heart disease. So too much noise going on, whether it's in your head or in your environmental surroundings, can be kind of dangerous, and that's why they call it the invisible danger, noise. So what are you going to do about it? There's something called white noise. People talk about that as a way to go to sleep. And what is white noise? Before I talk about what white noise is, did you know that there are other kinds of noise too? I looked it up online. There's pink noise, there's black noise, there's brown noise. I mean, I don't know why they call it all these colors, but I guess it's just to distinguish the difference in the degrees and extremes from one type of noise to another. But either way, some of these noises cause noise pollution, and some of these noises help you go to sleep or calm down. So I just wanted to point out in a discussion about noise, whether it's in your head or just in your environment, the types of noise and what they mean. For example, white noise. White noise is like a spinning fan sound or a humming sound, something like that, static from like a TV, or a hissing sound of some sorts. That's considered white noise. Pink noise is softer, I think. It's more like the rustling of leaves or the wind gently blowing, things like that, which I think I prefer that kind of noise to go to sleep to rather than the white noise. Then there's brown noise, and that's considered a low roar, kind of like strong waterfalls. When you go hiking, you land upon a big waterfall that's just really noisy, like Niagara Falls, for example. Or brown noise could also mean thunder, the sound of thunder. It's very strong and more powerful, and you're very aware of it. And then there's something called black noise, which is considered complete silence, when you don't have any environmental sounds whatsoever. And I was thinking, is that even possible to really experience complete silence? I mean, to some degree, yes, I think that's true. And then to another degree, I keep thinking, well, no, we can't be experiencing complete silence, because we're always hearing something, whether we're hearing it in our heads or we're making it up, or there's just the sounds of silence. Remember that song, Sounds of Silence? I think all of these colors of noise are very interesting and cause me to think more about what noise is and what it does to us. In particular, I really am concerned about people who replay things in their head over and over again and create all this noise in their head, in their minds, and that's impacting their health as well. It's impacting their mental health, it's impacting how they get along with other people, and whether they get along with people at all, and what decisions they make on whether or not they're going to pursue socializing with other people whatsoever. And some people close and clamp down, but they have a bad experience or a negative experience or even a positive experience. You'll replay those things in your mind and think, oh, that was a good time, that was a good moment. And then there's all these other things like, why did they do that to me? Why did that happen to me? Why me? Why me? Why me? And you play that over and over again and keep revisiting it, then that kind of noise is going to get to you. And it's going to cause maybe anxiety and depression and things like that, as well as the real diseases that I mentioned earlier, like high blood pressure and heart disease and what have you. So I was thinking about that last night because I woke up after trying to get to sleep for so long because of all the work crews making all that jackhammer noise outside my window. And then I woke up somewhere in the middle of the night. I don't even know what time it was. But I heard nothing all of a sudden. In comparison, I mean, you do hear things around the house, but it's just like little creak here and a little creak there. But I didn't hear any of the jackhammering anymore, and it seemed all of a sudden like everyone was quiet and everyone was taking their own little moment to rest. And I like that. I like quiet a lot more than I like noise, don't you? And I'm learning that about myself more and more all the time. I think I've always been that way, but I didn't necessarily recognize that silence was a good thing for me. You're always out there, you're trying to get the job done, you're trying to go, and do, that sometimes you don't even recognize that you need a moment to sit and relax and just be. And that's what this reminds me of. The noise is getting in our way and interfering with how we can become and be better people, I think. And that's something for me to consider and think about for sure. What else is there to talk about with the noise? I mean, I'm sure this conversation could go on and on and on, but I don't want this video to just keep going forever and a day. But I am interested in hearing your comments and finding out what your experiences and observations are in reference to what constitutes noise in your life and how it impacts you and what you've noticed and how you've overcome some of those things. We're always going to have noise around us, and we're always going to try to find time to break away. I think that's the key right there. Since we're in a world where there's nothing but noise going on, when do you and how do you break away and get away from the noise and create a safe, silent space for you to recoup, to recharge, and to refresh? I think that's the big question right there in reference to noise. How do you do that? What do you do? And do you do it? Leave your comments below in the comment box. And if you'd like to continue the discussion, please join me again. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell button on there, share it with your friends. And if you like the video and you want to continue this conversation, then give me a big thumbs up and leave a comment down there below. Hey, I appreciate you. And I'm thankful that you're here joining me for a coffee break. And I'm sure we can go on and on and on and on about the idea of noise, but I want to hear what you think. I've given you some ideas to think about in reference to noise. And is there anything else? Oh yeah. Don't let the noise get to you. Don't replay it in your head and become a broken record. When you see that happening, stop it and say, wait a second. I'm doing this again. I'm just replaying that old record in my head. I don't need to do that right now. What else can I do? Let's go find something else to do. Let's just break away. Take a deep breath, meditate a little bit, go find something fun to do, watch a nice funny video, things like that. Okay? All right, well, join me next time for another coffee break. I'm sure it'll come around real soon. Until then, y'all have a great day, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.